Hi there, I'm Heubunus and I'm the founder of two companies really. It's HR Vibe, and we get rid of all your HR worries with HR Vibe. And You Brand Builder is the other company, and we're specialized in personal branding. Now, a couple of days I had a meeting with a client and she said to me, oops, I made a big mistake. And I said, I do believe you did, I do believe you did. So what happened? Well, my client Anne, she's a coach really, and she's a coach, team coach, individual coach, and she helps teams and individuals feel better thanks to better nutrition, but also working on their self-confidence, etc. So she does that with individuals, but also in teams, in company. And she said, yeah, well, I'm a more introverted kind of person, and I really would like to work on my personal brand, but I don't feel like going to all these networking events. So what's the possibility there? And it is clear that we immediately talked about online personal branding, because if you are more introverted or a highly sensitive person, then online personal branding might just be your answer, your solution to your need for branding yourself, for becoming a little bit more visible in your market, but without having to go to all these networking events. So we talked about personal branding, online personal branding. And when you think about personal branding, and especially online personal branding, then you think about your website, possibly blogging, but of course we also talk about social media. And that's when she said, I made a mistake. I made a huge mistake. The mistake she made was that she didn't have a LinkedIn profile. Can you imagine that? She didn't have a LinkedIn profile. She's an entrepreneur. She works with companies, she works with individuals, and she didn't have a LinkedIn profile. Luckily she came to me and we immediately fixed that, and now she has a really nice LinkedIn profile, and she knows how to grow her network with LinkedIn. Now this is one of the mistakes that lots of entrepreneurs make actually. They don't have a LinkedIn profile. Now, isn't that terrible? And so that we give the idea to give you a training on the 5 mistakes that lots of entrepreneurs make with regards to their LinkedIn profile, and what you can do about it. What can you do to avoid these mistakes with regards to LinkedIn? And that's what the training is about today. So, for all those interim managers, coaches, consultants, trainers, for all those entrepreneurs and freelancers, if you are ready to boost your online personal brand, then it is really necessary that you start pimping your LinkedIn profile and that you do not make these same mistakes as so many others make. Okay, now why LinkedIn? Well, I'm a big fan of LinkedIn. I actually have been on LinkedIn for more than 10 years, and I have gained lots of clients thanks to my LinkedIn profile and the activity that I have on LinkedIn. And it is clear that I also was able to build my network, an online network and also an offline network, thanks to LinkedIn. So if you are also interested in attracting more clients and growing your network, then LinkedIn is possibly, I'm sure of it, one of the best tools to do that. And I really would like to teach you that. Well, and another reason why LinkedIn, well, not only because I'm a fan and because it allowed me to gain a lot of clients, but also, yeah, it is the biggest professional network in the world. I mean, every 2 seconds there is a new LinkedIn member, so it really goes very, very fast. It's a really fast growing site, social network site. So I really do believe that you really should be present on LinkedIn. But if you are present on LinkedIn, do not make the mistakes that we are going to talk about in this training. Now, you might sometimes wonder, well, I'm going to pimp my LinkedIn profile, I'm going to quickly have a LinkedIn profile, it can't be that difficult. And once you start, you say to yourself, it's not that easy. What are the words that I should use? And what pictures should I use? And what's the message that I want to bring across? And what's the headline that I should use, etc. So if you have these questions, then stay put, because I'm gonna give you lots of tips and tricks on how to pimp really your LinkedIn profile. Okay, let's get started. Now, There are 5 typical mistakes that entrepreneurs make with regards to their LinkedIn profile, and I would like to start with the first one. And the first one, the typical one, is that you look at your LinkedIn profile like a CV. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, then I imagine that you are not really looking for a job, are you? You are an entrepreneur, you're not a wantrepreneur, right? So you are not looking for a job, you're more looking for a new business, more clients, or possibly ambassadors, people who can really add value to your network. So you're not looking for a job, which means that your LinkedIn profile shouldn't look like a CV. So please do understand. I do understand too that that your profile might look a little bit like a CV, because that's the origin of LinkedIn, really, and lots of people have a LinkedIn profile that looks like a CV. But you are an entrepreneur, and if you are an entrepreneur, then there's no need to have a CV as a LinkedIn profile that looks like a CV. What you should have is more like, I would almost call it like a sales text. Your LinkedIn profile should really resemble more like a kind of a brochure where you talk to your potential client, where you address your potential client, and that you talk about the services that you can deliver in order to solve his problems. That is what a LinkedIn profile should look like. It does not look like a CV. So that's the first mistake that lots of people make. So try to avoid that. Don't look at it as a CV, and just see it more like your message, your marketing message that you want to bring across to your potential clients. Okay, let's go to the second mistake. And the second mistake is that you don't have a summary. Now, when you look at your LinkedIn profile, what you see is your photo. It should be a nice photo. Don't use a logo. Have a nice photo where you smile. Don't use a holiday photo or whatever. Have a nice photo. And you've got your name, then you've got the headline, and underneath that, you've got background with a summary. Now, what I see is that lots of people don't even have a summary, or they have a lousy summary. It's like, again, the CV as we talked about, or it's more like, I am a very result-oriented entrepreneur, and I like skiing, and I have 20 years of experience as a sales manager in different companies, etc. So these are the typical things that I see when I look at a summary. And even worse, some people do not even have a summary, and that is not all that abnormal, because it didn't exist in the beginning of LinkedIn. So in the beginning you did not have the summary, and that is why some people who are not very active on LinkedIn might not have created their summary yet. But you should have a summary, and you should have a very nice summary. So see to it that you have this summary. Now, I've got some tips with regard to your summary. When you make your summary, again, as I was already explaining, it should more like an area where you give your marketing message. In other words, you talk to your potential clients and you tell him or her how you could possibly help him or her solve her problems. So the thing is that you should really address your client. So who is your client? And that's a very important question to ask yourself. Who's my ideal client? Who is the typical client really that I really would like to work with? And so you address this person, and the second question that you need to ask yourself is, okay, what are the typical problems that potential client has and I do have a solution for? Or what are the ambitions of that potential client, and how can I possibly help that potential client achieve his or her ambitions? So if you think about your marketing message, these are the answers that you really should be able to give. Ask yourself, who's my ideal client and what is the solution that I can give to solve his or her problems. And that is kind of your marketing message that you should put in your summary. Now, when you write your summary, well, first of all, a tip that I can give is that you really should focus on addressing your client and make your summary client attractive. When your potential client really arrives on your LinkedIn page, he or she must immediately say, okay, this person will be able to help me and I'm interested to get in touch with that person, or that person will not be able to help me. And that's okay too. You want your potential client to contact you whenever he or she really sees your LinkedIn profile. And that is what I also would like to mention as an extra tip here, is you should add a call to action. A call to action means that you should ask something to your potential client, to the one who's looking at your profile, and he or she should really get into action. So what I suggest there is that you say, if you're interested, contact me, call me on this number or mail me on this number. Or another call to action might be, if you're looking to download my new ebook, well, it's for free and you can find it on my website. It's always very interesting to guide people from your LinkedIn profile to your website, if you do have a website. So there has to be a call to action. Ask that person to do something. To do something means to take action and to contact you via your website or via the other possibilities that you have. So that's another tip that I would like to suggest. Put it in your summary. So make very clear that in your summary it is very client oriented, and that you have your call to action with your phone number or your website or your email, and possibly all of them in there too. Another tip that I would like to say is use keywords. What are the keywords that you want to be found from? I mean, if you are a specialist in personal branding like I am, and human resources, then I want these words to really come back. I want these as my keywords, because that will enable people to find me. And it's for you to try to find your keywords and use them. Use them everywhere in your LinkedIn profile, but certainly also in your summary. And then the last tip that I really would like to give is don't talk about her or him, but talk about yourself. It's your profile, so talk about me. So I am Greet Bunnens and I can help you solve your problems if you wish. If you are, for instance, an HR manager and you have lots of human resources worries, then I will be able to help you get rid of these worries. Contact me and blah, 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 blah. So it's about me. So this is the same thing that you should do too. In your summary, talk about you. Now, some people say, but yeah, I really understand, but if you are always talking about yourself, doesn't really don't you come across as a bragger? And I often get that question, because people often relate personal branding to bragging, because personal branding is about you and branding yourself, so they think that it is about bragging, but that is not at all the case. Because really what personal branding is about is showing how you can help your ideal client solve their problems. So it's really about them, but it is important that you talk about you as a person who is able to help your clients solve the problems. So that is why you should talk about I, and don't think that personal branding is about bragging. I don't like braggers, and I do like personal branding. So it's really a whole different ball game. What's very important is that you are authentic, that you are true to yourself, and that you really show how you can help solve the problems or achieve the ambitions of your clients. Okay, so that was the second mistake. So the first one is it resembles a CV. The second one was that you do not have a summary or that you have a lousy summary. Now the third mistake that lots of entrepreneurs make has something to do with the headline. So when you look at your profile with your nice picture, you also have the headline. Now the headline, what I often see are crazy things. Really, I have people who have their business, a one-man show business, and they call themselves CEO. Or I have people who call themselves guru. Then I have people who say things like I'm a freelancer. So in the headline here, they say freelancer, and that's it. I mean, a freelancer in what? Do we have to imagine what kind of freelancer you are and what kind of assignments you are looking for? So please be a little bit more clear in your message there. I've also seen and often actually seen headlines like I'm a coach with company 123, for instance. And a coach, well, what kind of coach? I mean, I love coaches, but there are so many of you, so how do you really, with all due respect, but how do you want to stand out if you call yourself just merely a coach? So who do you coach? You coach them in what? And what are the results that you promise your clients? That is the message that I want to see there. It's not only the coach, and I want to see what you can deliver to your clients. I want to see what the promises are that you can give to your that you make to your clients. Or I can also be happy when I see some keywords. So what I use actually is keywords, but I change it. Sometimes I use keywords, and then sometimes I use a more result-oriented sentence. But this one here, for instance, these are the key words that I use, like personal branding, business mentor, blogger, speaker, human resources, networker, and then the names of my two companies, U Brand Builder and HR5. Now, so these are the keywords. I've already mentioned the keywords before, that you should try to find out what are the keywords that are for you important and for your business important. So when a potential client is looking for you, what are the keywords that he will use and find you really. So that's one thing that you could do. So that is a tip that I would like to give, is try to use the keywords as a headline. Another tip that I would like to give is, if you don't like the keywords, use maybe a result-oriented sentence, as I've already mentioned. Something like, I help women entrepreneurs in their 50s lose weight in 7 weeks, lose 7 kilos in 7 weeks, or something like that. So if you put that in the headline, that will be very interesting. And people will certainly be interested to read more about that, especially if they are in the target audience, if they are entrepreneurs in the 50s and they want to lose weight, for instance. So try to use that result-oriented sentence. Think about it. It's actually a little bit like your elevator pitch, but then very, very short. But it's 120 characters that you have, so use these 120 characters. It's very important. Now, the reason why it is so important is that when you are active on LinkedIn, then you can share stuff, you can like stuff, you can say congratulations to somebody who's changed jobs, or say happy birthday to somebody who has his or her birthday. Now, if you do that, what people will see is your photo, your name, and that headline. And that is why it is so important that that headline is kind of attractive, that it is something that inspires people, that makes people a little bit curious, that they want to know, what does that person looks interesting, I want to know more about that person. So those are some of the tips that I would like to say with regards to the headline. So see to it that you have an interesting headline. Try to avoid the typical CEO or coach or freelancer or whatever. I mean, LinkedIn will use the title and the company you're working for actually, so the actual title and company, but you can change it. So use it and change it. I would really suggest you do that. It will be of a great value if you do that. Okay, so these are already 3 mistakes. So the first one, it looks like a CV. The second one is, oh my god, the summary really resembles like nothing, it's really lousy, or you don't have a summary. And then the third one is a very important one, have a very nice headline or tagline, the way you want to call it. Now the fourth mistake is you wait. Okay, I have worked with hundreds and hundreds of people with regards to their LinkedIn profile, and what I have noticed is that some of my clients, they pin their LinkedIn profile, they have a great LinkedIn profile, and then suddenly they don't do anything with it. They say, okay, now I have a great LinkedIn profile and I'm waiting, okay, may everybody come, may my clients come, and may they call me and go to my website or whatever. But that's another way it works, of course. You cannot just sit and wait. You need action. I mean, if you want to realize your dreams, then you have to get into action. I love action. That's really one of my mottos. Go in action. I have a lot of energy, and I think it is very important if you want to realize your dreams. And if you really want to succeed in life, then you have to get into action. So action is the key word. So don't be lazy, don't be passive. Once you've got a wonderful LinkedIn profile, do something with it. Now, what is it that you can do? I have some tips here. Well, you could, for instance, you could, and that's an easy one, use your LinkedIn handle everywhere. I mean, I use it on my invoices, I use it on my website, of course, on my business cards, in the signature of my emails, etc. So use your LinkedIn handle everywhere. That way you make it easy for people to get in touch with you via LinkedIn and to look at your profile. So use it everywhere. That's an easy one. Keep it in mind. Try to use it really everywhere. The second one is connect, connect, connect. I mean, you can sit and wait for people to ask you to connect with them, but why not make the effort yourself? So connect with the people you know. That's the least thing that you can do. And one thing that I really would like to suggest here, I think it is very important, is when you send a message, that if you want to connect with somebody, please write a personal message. Don't just push the button which says that I would like to link on your I would like to get connected or something. So very impersonal. I don't like it. I get lots and lots of invitations like that, and I honestly have to say that I hate it, especially if it is from people that I don't know. I don't know you, I don't know why you want to link with me, connect with me, so why should I accept? At least send me a little message, we've met there and I really would like to connect, or I had a look at your LinkedIn profile and I think that it could be interesting to do business, or that we could sit over, meet each other over a cup of coffee or whatever, but just make it a little bit personal. And if it is somebody that you know, don't think that everybody just remembers you. I mean, if you've worked for years together, then they will remember you. But if you just met somebody at a networking event, for instance, and you exchange business cards, well, that person might possibly have forgotten about you. That person might just have met lots and lots of people. So when you connect with that person, just send them a message like, We met each other at the HR conference, for instance, and it was so fun to talk about our compensation and benefits issues. And I was a lady with a red dress, and I really would like to get in touch with you because I really would like to continue our conversation over a cup of coffee. That's something that you could do. Try that. Don't make it impersonal. So that's an important one. Connect, connect, connect. Another thing that I would like to mention is join groups. Not all the groups, and not only the groups where all your competitors are, but try to find out what are the groups where you can find your potential clients. And join these groups, be very interactive, share ideas, react to the discussions, be an active group member, and that will be really for your benefit. So join these interesting groups. The fun thing about joining groups is that you get to know what's going on in your market. Really, you get to know more interesting people. You learn a thing or two. So I really would like to urge you to join groups and be an active member with regards to the groups. Then another one that I would like to mention is, and that has it's not only for LinkedIn, of course, it's in everything that you do. Try to be generous with your time and with your network, and share valuable ideas, valuable information, valuable content. You know that it's a giving society, and if you give a lot, it will eventually come back to you. It's at least, I think it's in the Bible where they say, then ask and you shall be given, or something like that. Well, I think it's more like give and you shall receive. Yeah, it's a ask and you shall receive. Well, I think it's more like give and you shall receive. So be a very generous person with your time, be authentic, listen well, share information, share valuable information, and that would also be really interesting for your potential clients, for your audience, and for yourself eventually. So a very interesting tip there too, if I may say so. Okay, so these are the things that I wanted to say with regards to the fourth mistake. So remember, don't make it look like a CV, don't have a lousy summary, take care of your headline, and don't be lazy. Have an active role. I've got one of my clients, Anna, and she's a lady who always went to all these networking events, and after we worked together on our branding, on her branding, and especially on her LinkedIn profile, she followed one of my online courses actually. She said, well, what I've decided is that I'm skipping certain networking events, and I have my apéro LinkedIn. So I think twice a week or something, she really sits behind her PC and she logs on LinkedIn, and she sees what's going on, what's happening, and she is very active in the conversations. She likes, she shares, etc. So now she sees what's going on, and the nice thing too is that she is able to build and grow a new network, because not everybody's going to these networking events. So if you go to these networking events, it's very good. I'm very pro networking. However, online there's also lots of stuff to do, and you can also grow your network online, because there's lots of people who do not attend these networking events, and online is also, and LinkedIn is a great way to get in touch with these people. Okay, and let's focus on the last one, and the last one is, now you must have guessed that one, it's there is no link with your personal brand. For me, LinkedIn and personal branding are so connected. I mean, you cannot pimp your LinkedIn profile if you do not have an idea of your personal brand, of your marketing message, etc. That is why it is really connected. And if you haven't thought about your personal brand, it is very difficult to have a proper summary, a very good headline, etc. And that is possibly why lots of people tell me, yeah, good. I understand I have to have a networking event, but where do I start, and how can I really, what are the words that I have to use, and what's the message that I will bring across, etc. So That is because people have not thought about building their personal brand. And that is why I think it's very important that you link your LinkedIn profile with your online personal brand and your personal brand. I mean, personal branding, you can build your personal brand online and offline. If you go online, there's different ways. Among these ways, there is LinkedIn, of course. So see to it that there is a connection, that you first have a very good view on what is your personal brand, and that you use all that information to pimp your LinkedIn profile and to grow your network on LinkedIn and beyond. Now, how can you do that? Well, I've got good news for you. I've got actually two answers. The first one is with regards to your personal brand. If you really want to build your personal brand, then I have a free ebook for you that you can download. It's a free, totally free ebook where I will teach you step by step how you can build your personal brand. It's an ebook of more than 35 pages. It's a workbook really, and I'm gonna give you the 5 steps to build your personal brand and give you lots and lots of exercises that you can fill out. And once you've filled all those steps, if you filled it out, if you've really answered all the questions in all the different steps in the 5 steps, then you have a good view. Okay, this is my marketing message, and this is how I want to bring my message across. So download my ebook, my free ebook on my website. You can find it on youbrandbuilder.com. So that's the first thing that I want to give you. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is my online program, my online LinkedIn program. And that is called Lead with LinkedIn. You can find it on the internet, of course, and that is on youbrandbuilder.com/online-lead-with-LinkedIn. So have a look at our LinkedIn program, our online LinkedIn program. I have a program in Dutch and I have one in English. So if you have questions about that, contact me. But you can find it on online-LinkedIn-lead-with-LinkedIn. Oh my god, lots of bloopers here. Anyway, doesn't matter, does it? No? Okay. That program, I made that program because I get lots and lots of questions of people who say, yeah, well, I want you to help me with my LinkedIn profile. And if I have to do that personally, I love to do that, of course, but my time is very valuable and it costs you a lot of money. So the investment is kind of high if you want me to help you personally during a whole day or something. And that is why I've decided to create an online program, and I've really thought about the pricing so that it is really possible for everybody to attend the online training because it's a really low price training, an online training. And as I also like the face-to-face and I like to help people on an individual basis, I added an individual coaching also. So it's a really very interesting program. It is not at all an expensive one. If you are serious about building your online personal brand, if you're serious about your LinkedIn profile and growing your network with LinkedIn, well then I really would like to suggest that you have a look at our program, and for the early birds there is a 50% discount. So I'm really sure that it's gonna help you, and I'm not kidding you, this is really a cheap program, especially with 50% off. It's a bargain. So have a look at our program. Again, it's on www.youbrandbuilder.com/online-lead-with-LinkedIn. Okay, so I hope that I was able to give you some ideas on how to pimp your LinkedIn profile, what mistakes you really should avoid, and how you can grow your network online thanks to LinkedIn, and how you can build your online personal brand. Thank you again for making the investment, the time investment really, to come to this moment here in our training. That means that you really went through the whole training. Congratulations to you. That also means that you will have a bigger chance of realizing your dreams with regards to your business. So good luck to you. I hope to talk to you very soon. I hope that you will be willing to join our Lead with LinkedIn training. And yeah, just to keep you with my last thoughts are: be good, do good, feel good. Bye bye.